Okay, good day, Nisian Criminology. Um, uh, this video presentation is a reviewer for your upcoming prelim exam. So let's start now. Question. During one of the deliberation, the Philippine Senate, Senator Cynthia Villar authored that baliw na baliw kayo sa research. Aanhin nyo ba yung research? In this modern time, is research still important? Well, the answer is yes. Because research contributes to the pool of knowledge to a particular discipline and explain the phenomena and could be a basis for a policy. It could be a basis for policy. So again, research is still important even in these modern times. Now, another question. Police Captain L is the new chief of police of Wano City. He wants to know what are the common crimes. He wants to know what are the common crimes committed in this area. How would he do it? Well, you need to conduct a descriptive research in order to have a picture of specific details about situation, social setting, or relationship. Descriptive research because this partakes of a survey, survey. Police Captain L conducted crime victimization survey within his area of responsibility. He noticed that certain barangay has the highest number of cases of theft, homicide, and physical injuries. Which the following should he do? This time, he need to conduct an explanatory research. Why? Why is it that in this particular barangay, there are high cases of theft, homicide, and physical injury in order to look into for causes or reasons of committing crime? Okay, so that's why it's explanatory research. When Police Captain was assigned to another city, he made the same victimization survey, which the following research characteristics best describe the act of Police Captain L. So, of course, the research characteristic best described in this scenario is replicable. It can be replicated. The research he conducted in one place can be replicated in another place. So, replicable. In conducting research, Captain L employ techniques that are appropriate to research problems and objectives. Which the following research characteristics best describe the act of Police L. So, in conducting research, he employ uh, appropriate methods and techniques. And what is that? That is what we call methodical method. No? From the word method, methodical, proper methods and techniques. Another question. Mr. E is the dean of the criminology of an academic institution. He wants to find out if there is significant relationship between academic performance and passing the board exam. Which of the following should he do? Now, because he wants to determine the relationship between the academic performance and passing the board exam, he needs to conduct correlation research. Correlation research. In order to determine if there is significant relationship between academic performance of student and passing the board examination. Another question. Philippines is the only country without a divorce law. Senator R wants to know the perception of the Filipino as to legalizing divorce in the Philippines. Which of the following should he do? Well, he should conduct survey research in order to determine the percentage of Filipinos who are in favor of divorce. Okay, so survey research, no? Uh, para mabalang pinagbuganan og divorce. Then Mr. M is community instructor. He wanted to know if learning methodology is effective. Uh, which learning methodology is effective, whether face-to-face or modular approach? Which research method is effective? So he wants to determine which of the following is more effective, the face-to-face or the modular. So that would be experimental research. Experimental research because the researcher can employ pre-test, post-test control design. As a chief of police, you want to know if there is relationship between drug menace problem barangay and crime rate. So you want to know the relationship, no, between the drug menace and the crime rate. What type of research are you going to? So you need to conduct correlation research, correlational research, or to determine the relationship or correlation between drug menace and crime rate. You have identified barangay with most number of drug-related cases, no, in your area of responsibility. As chief of police, you have intensified the patrol operation through a program, Neighborhood Watch. You want to know the effectiveness of your program. No? You want to know the effectiveness of your program. What type of research are you going to conduct? So, you need to conduct the causal comparative research. Causal comparative research. So, before the program, unsa may crime rate? After the program, what is the crime rate? So, that's causal comparative research. No? Causal comparative research. Miss A is working with Women and Child Protection Center, the Philippine National Police. He wants to document, he wants to document and verbalize the lived experiences of victims of human trafficking. So, lived experiences of human trafficking. Which research method is effective for that purpose? Basta gani document and verbalize the lived experiences. That is phenomenology. Okay? Phenom, phenom, phenomenology, no? Because it will explore, describe, and verbalize the lived experiences of a group of participants. Okay? Mr. J is conducting a sociologistic study to identify speech varieties learned and used by Maranao school children. So, Maranao, no, there is ethnicity, ethnic group. No? Ethnic group ni sila. And which research methods should he use? So, kung ethnicity na gani, mga Maranao, Aita, Tibuli, you need to use ethnography because it involves study of cultural minority. Ethnography, no? Uh, Another question. Cases of men being victimized and women as aggressors in intimate partner relationship are perceived as impossible. Due to their invisibilization, male victims of violence are largely unrecognized in data and statistical report in the country regarding domestic violence. You want to conduct an in-depth analysis in cases of Filipino men being victims of domestic violence. Which research method should you use? So the question here is in-depth analysis on cases of Filipino men being victims of domestic violence. So what methods are you going to use? You need to use the case study. Case study. Okay, because it will present an in-depth analysis on the problem of men who are victims of domestic violence. Case study. The Visconti case was multiple homicide of members of Visconti family on June 30 and one at the residence of BF Homes, Parañaque City. Fortunately, the suspect were arrested and were tried in court. It becomes one of the most sensational cases in the Philippines, being described as the trial of the century. The lower court then convicted the accused involved in the killing. However, when the case was brought to the Supreme Court, the High Court acquitted the accused for failure of prosecution to prove the guilt of the accused beyond reasonable doubt. This was considered as the greatest mistrial in the history of the Philippines. If you're going to conduct digital storytelling, okay, digital storytelling of the case, which measurement is most appropriate? So, digital storytelling, so the most appropriate is narrative. Okay, narrative. Because it will explore the life of the victims and the suspect and narrate its story. So, narrative ang gamiton. You want to create a theory regarding male prostitution in the Philippines. Which research method are you going to employ? So this one, you want to create a theory. So from the word create a theory, so which research method are you going? Grounded theory. Okay, because you want to create a theory, so you must use grounded theory. Why is it necessary to have a good title on your research? Well, the answer is because research title summarizes the main idea or ideas or your study and usually read first. So that is why it's really need to go to have a good research title. It summarizes the main idea and usually read first. Yun muna yung unang basahon. Question, is there theoretical background important in the research? Is theoretical background important in the research? The answer is yes. Siyempre, yes. Because theoretical framework strengthen research study which permits the reader to evaluate or challenge. So it will strengthen the research study. Strengthen the research study which permits the reader to evaluate or challenge. You want to conduct a phenomenological study on the lived experiences of students who are engaged in prostitution to support their study. Which research title best illustrates the purpose of study? So the title is phenomenological study, lived experiences of students engaged in prostitution to support their study. So of course the best title here is Money Above Pleasures, Life Experiences of Student Engaged in Prostitution. This is the best title that you could give them. After analyzing your research title, you are now ready to make an introduction. Opening statement must be striking in order to encourage readers to continue reading your paper. In the above research title, which of the following is the best opening statement in your introduction? Remember your title was prostitution, student prostitution. So the best opening statement is, it has been known that there are students who survive with their studies through engagement in prostitution. So some students survive in their studies through prostitution. You want to document and verbalize. No, you want to document and verbalize the lived experiences of victims of human trafficking. Your working title is The Willing Victim. The lived experiences of victims of human trafficking. Which of the following is a good opening statement? Which of the following is good is this one. Human trafficking is the most pernicious form of abuse and a multi-billion-dollar criminal industry in modern times. No, that's the best uh, opening statement. Okay, I think that will be all. Thank you and good luck in your prelim exam.